Hey good people, this is Cherika, EB, and Sabrina. You're listening to The Kickback. Glad you decided to pull up.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Cherika, that song is such a vibe. It's so good. Eye of the Tiger. Clearly, that's my vibe today. But also, it's one of those songs where the intro music, it's so good. It's like Jaws. Jaws, everybody knows that. But imagine if Jaws had words, then it wouldn't be a vibe. Like Eye of the Tiger, so good. Why did he have to start singing? That's when it goes down.
You don't like the singing part of it?
No, like I know that is such the vibe of that era of music, like his voice.
Tiger, it's the thrill of the fight.
Like, listen, the verse, like the poetry with it is beautiful. Rising up, back on the street, did my time, took my chances, went the distance. Now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to, like, I love that. But nothing beats just the intro before the singing. That part is timeless. So my vibe is, first of all, happy last weekish of summer.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh,
feeling that.
Okay.
My favorite season is coming, and I'm trying not to get too excited because the 22nd is officially the first day of fall. So we're not there yet. We got one more full week, and then we'll be in the best time of year between Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I won't go there quite yet. I'll stay here and say that my vibe is sunny and 75. I told y'all September is my time this year. Lots of things are happening. I'm ready to shine. I'm ready to have a good time. And I have the focus. I have the eye of the tiger. Cherika, how are you?
I'm doing really good. If I sound weird, y'all, I have a little head cold, but overall, I actually feel really good. My temp is 73, which is like really good because there's like a little breeze in the air. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's just like you can have a light jacket and it's perfect. And if you're in the sun, it might be warm, so you could take the jacket off. Yeah, that's my temp. My song is, I was gonna say it's 50 Cent in the club. Not because I was in the club, but just because go shorty, it's your birthday.
Yes.
It's your birthday. So yeah, I know my birthday is past, but part of this episode, we're going to talk about my birthday. So I'm still feeling the birthday vibes. And yeah, I'm in a great mood despite the little cold that I'm carrying around with me.
Yes, we all say prayers for Cherika. I low-key am like, Cherika, are you going to take a COVID test? Because y'all know it's going to rise. So I'm like, girl, are you masked up? Like, what's going on? Listen, don't let it catch you. Because this time around, I told y'all, I thought it was allergies. But my friend who's a nurse was like, girl, you probably got the COVID. And I did. My God.
I need to go see if I still have tests at the house. They used to have, all those tests. I need to go see if I still have some over there. I can test.
Yeah, because I think they run, like, shout out to our government for the free ones. I didn't know they were so expensive because when I had it, I was taking like one a day for like 4 days because I was hoping to get a negative one 2 days in a row so I could still do some of Doug's grandma's 90th birthday celebration. But, the tests are like $20 to $30 and it turns out we had a lot left. So we didn't have to buy any, but I'm like, golly, imagine if you're like taking it every day. That adds up quick.
Yeah, it really does. So I just been pretty much just taking it easy, laying low, but I do feel a little fatigued. I felt more fatigued going into the cold. Then the cold hit me and I was just like, ooh, because I thought I was just tired after all the festivities. And then when did I start feeling sick? Probably, what's today? Friday? So Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe about Tuesday, Wednesday. I was like, girl, I think we going down.
Now I'm going down is your song.
I'm going down.
I don't claim that for you, friend. I say, stay up. Stay up. It's still your birthday month. You're a survivor.
I am. I'm gonna make it. We'll keep
Hmm.
on surviving. Woo. But yeah, I feel good though. I really do feel really good and in a good mood. Hmm.
I love that for us, friend.
Yeah. So I did want to.
Cherika, you're wild. I think we were both kind of like hesitating because we had such an awesome but jam packed weekend last weekend
We
that was
did.
full of highs and lows. Y'all, it was great. But I'm like, where do we want to start? So I think we're both laughing because we're thinking about some of the lows, but also some of the highs.
Yep.
So
I
Sharika, I think we could start with like expectations going into your birthday weekend
yeah.
and how the hurricane impacted your birthday
Oh
weekend. And then
yeah.
you can start by like what you and Alan got into Thursday. And then when you get into Friday evening, I'll chime in with how my
Okay.
husband and I got to take part.
Okay, thank you, Sabrina, for the little outline because your girl needed it. The one thing about being sick though is you get like a brain fog and you're like, what is going on? What's happening in life? Oh yeah. And then it
Right.
comes back to you. So your brain, I feel like my brain is like slow on the uptake, but thank you. I'm here. I'm present. So going into my birthday, I told y'all I was not really looking forward to it. I was feeling a little like, oh, womp womp, you're getting old, womp womp. That's how I was feeling. And then, I told y'all this other thing that like, or maybe I didn't. I don't know if I told y'all this or not, but we've talked about birthdays probably every year of the podcast. And one of the things that I took um to heart was has come from Sabrina. I'm the person that normally is like, oh, I have all these expectations for my birthday and I think this and I think that. And then they never pan out to be as I expected and I feel disappointed. And then one time Sabrina was talking about her birthday and how she makes her birthday about whatever she wants to do. And she basically takes ownership of her birthday. And I used to put my birthday in other people's hands. Not literally, but I think subconsciously I would. So when Sabrina said that, I was like, girl, this is why you always disappointed. Who won't disappoint you? Yourself. So guess what? You're gonna do for yourself. And I have done that the past few years, maybe 2, 3 years that we've been on here. I have taken full ownership or reign of my birthday and I've done the things that I like. So going into this birthday, I was like, all right, I got this plan, I got that plan. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But then Alan was telling me, oh, one of our good friends, shout out to the Rhines family, they were going to be in town in Orlando the weekend of my birthday or the week of my birthday. And so I'm like, okay, that's cool. We can go see them. And then we told y'all we had a friend who had a surprise birthday party for their spouse that we were going to attend. So that was the day after my birthday. So I'm like, listen, all these things are happening around the same time in Orlando. Let's just move the birthday celebration to Orlando. So I was like, okay, I got the things ready. Me and Alan were going to go to Orlando Wednesday night, have Thursday to spend with our friends. Friday was going to be my birthday. I didn't really have any specific plans that day other than the Kempers were going to join us. And then Saturday, we were going to do whatever. Didn't also have specific plans until Saturday night, which would have been the birthday party. Well, we know y'all know the hurricane hit. And then Alan was working crazy. He was so busy. So I was like, well, is he even going to be able to get off? I don't know. So luckily, maybe a day or two before he found out he would be able to be off the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm like, okay, so that means we can't go up, we can't spend time with them on Thursday as we had planned. Sorry if this sounds boring and long and drawn out, people. I'm just taking y'all on the journey with me. Come along.
No, it
So
sounds juicy. I like it.
okay, good. So so then he does get up. So we go up Thursday night. He actually gets home a little early on Thursday. So that was nice. So we got up there Thursday night. And we only missed one day. And then Friday was my birthday. And we went and hung out with our friends. Well, y'all listen. It was we were staying at a timeshare, and y'all know they be trying to catch you up with the timeshare talk. So before we get there, I was like, when do you have to do the talk? I'm like, I'm not doing the talk. Well, girl, when I get up there, of course they talk you into the ding dang talk. And I was like, I didn't want to do the talk. And then I come back to the car and I'm like, Alan, remember I said I wasn't going to do the talk? But what about if we do the talk this time? And I was trying to go for Saturday. He was like, no, if you want to do the talk, you can do the talks Friday. But like, he was like, not putting up a lot of resistance, but I was just like, okay, whatever. Maybe he's thinking, oh, Doug and Sabrina are there. It's better if we do it Friday because, then they're not there and we're not taking up their time doing the talk. So he was kind of pushing a little for Friday. And me and Alan are both pretty low key. So if one person has another suggestion, we're like, okay, whatever, let's do that. So he said, let's do it on Friday, which is my birthday. So we went on Friday to have the little timeshare talk. And then we went to our friend's rental and met up with them and just hung out with them, chatted, chilled. And then the campers joined us that evening.
Yes. So Doug and I were really, really thrilled when Cherika invited us to be a part of her birthday weekend through coming and enjoying some time with her at her family timeshare. We've had an opportunity to do that before, and it is lovely. It's such a vibe. It feels like, I said vibe. It's such a vibe. It feels like a staycation. And it's birthday weekend, so we're going to have fun, as we always do with them. So we were really excited to go. And at that time, we figured we'd leave as soon as we could after work. Well, in true Sabrina fashion, I did not get off work as early as I'd hoped to get off work. So we were going to have to face some traffic, but it was all good. Cherika extended an invitation to us to come hang out with their friends. My husband, y'all, is such a chill person too. But both of us can get in our hangry vibes. Doug was like, what about the food? I thought we were going there and going to get dinner. When we were going to leave earlier, there's more flexibility to just get something and go. But we ended up not leaving Tampa until like maybe, I can't remember. I want to say 5:30 because I usually get off around 5-ish. So Doug was very hungry. And because of that, at first he did not want to go meet the friends. And I'm like sneakily snapping Cherika because I'm like, Doug, he just wanted to go straight to Orlando to get some food and then just wait for whenever Alan and Cherika made their way back to the resort. But in my mind, I'm thinking the whole point of this weekend is to hang out with Cherika on her birthday and to celebrate with friends. And it's her birthday. We need to go be there. So I'm snapping Cherika and she's like, girl, there's food here. Cherika, you don't know about this part. So I tell Doug, there's food there. And Doug's like, that could mean anything. What does food? And I was not going to press you, Cherika, about what that meant. He's like, what does that mean? Are they chips? Are there this or that? So when we were like 6 minutes from their friend's house, we went through the Zaxby's drive-thru.
I'm not mad at it.
6 boneless barbecue wings. And I only ate 2 and Doug ate the others because he's just like, I don't know what the food situation is going to be. You got me out here. I'm hungry. I just want to make sure
Doug is a man after my own heart. I am Doug. So I'm not offended in the least because sometimes like the other time we were meeting up with some friends and Alan's like, oh, they'll probably want to eat when we get there. I'm like, well, we're going to need to stop for a snack because I'm hungry.
Not you and Doug with the Scooby snacks. Golly. So we go through because in his mind, it's just like, if I already am a little satiated, then when I get there, I'll be social, whatever. And that will buy me some time before I get cranky again. Mm-hmm. But y'all, when we get there, first of all, the friends were so pleasant. Like, I love meeting friends of my friends because I trust my friends' judgments anyway. So when I meet their friends, I'm like, listen, you're my friend too at this point. When they talk about like, oh, make yourself comfortable. Y'all, my shoes were off. I was chopping up with the one guy's wife. Immediately we're talking about like just birth and life and deep topics. And I'm like, make myself at home. I look out. Why is my husband in the kitchen? Like not even chopping it up with people. And he's just looking so happy because they did have food there. And it was really, really, really good. There was some sort of like, I think it was like beef or sausage tortellini and then some curry and this amazing salad and some pita wraps. There were veggie and chicken. And I was like, oh, so they had food. They didn't have like, random little snacks. And this was like homemade, the tortellini stuff and the curry. Y'all, I wasn't even that hungry, but I got up and got some too. It was great. So I just want to say thank you in a public forum to Cherika and her friends for letting myself and Doug, who we felt kind of random, these are people who have been friends for like, I would say at least 20 years. Like these aren't like surface level friends. And Doug and I, they just welcomed us with open arms. The one friend Shriek and Alan has like 10 children and one's in the belly. So he's soon to have 11. And even the kids were so welcome and opening and so stinking cute. It was such a good time. And I'm so glad that we got to spend time with the friends on that Friday night.
And I was so happy that that you guys came and that y'all had such a positive experience, because it is kind of awkward when you're introducing friends to friends, because you're like, oh, I love both of these friends and I hope they love each other. And then you always feel awkward about that. And then you feel awkward sometimes too, because me and Alan, we don't have kids. Doug and Sabrina don't have children. And so sometimes when people who don't have kids are around people with kids, we're cool. We don't care about the kids. And Doug and Sabrina aren't like that either. But sometimes people be like, I don't with the kids, So, but thank God Doug and Sabrina, they love the kitties too. And so I felt good about that, because sometimes, people who don't have kids, it's like people with pets. Some people without pets still love the pets. And then some people without pets be like, I don't have pets for a reason. I don't like the pets. So,
well, it's different because pets, will have odor. Their hair can possibly be
people
in the
may
food.
feel the same thing about
Sometimes
children.
people don't control but when's the last time you seen a child jump on somebody's lap and like put their bad breath in their face?
Some kids
That's
are like
crazy.
That. Some kids are like that. Not my friends' kids, but some kids are like that.
No,
and some people
those
don't
kids
like
were
kids.
so cute.
Some people don't like kids, and I get that. They can do what they want to do, or they're entitled to their feelings. And so I was just happy because everyone enjoyed each other's company and it was a great time. And I thought that was the birthday. And I thought that was the end of the celebration.
She had cake too, friend. Wasn't it like a coffee cake or something?
Yes, Jessica made a homemade cake because she's a very good cook. And she's also like, I don't even like red velvet cake. And that was so good. That cake was so good.
Stop it. Don't say that, because I didn't get any because I don't like red velvet. And it was actually really good.
It was so good.
Stop.
I think I told Doug. Maybe I didn't tell you, but I was like,
girl, Doug had that cake. He had the other cake.
Oh, did he? He had some of the red velvet cake? Oh, girl, it was really good. I don't even like red velvet cake, and it was so good because it was homemade cake and homemade icing or whipped topping or whatever she put on there. It was delicious. And you know what? And the reason why it was red velvet cake, not the reason why, but she asked my husband, well, what's Sherika's favorite cake? And my husband said she likes any cake. See, this is where you're wrong, sir. Because the one cake I don't like is red velvet, and you're talking about any cake, and that's the cake that was made. But thank God, like I said, Jessica is an amazing cook, and that cake was so good.
She's such a good
for
cook.
You guys out there, next time, let my husband know my favorite cake is strawberry cake. Ugh, gosh. Anyway.
Yes, a woman after my own heart. Listen, that lady's food was so good. They had me and Cherika and I leaving talking about moving to Virginia. We were like, we should just move to Virginia so we can all be together and hang out all the time.
And then, listen, these are such good friends. And Jessica is a very, what is it? Hospitable woman and very good cook. Literally a few years ago, we were going to be in town in Virginia, and it was going to be around Alan's birthday. And I called up Jessica's husband, Dominique, which is Alan's longtime friend. I said, Dominique, we're going to be in town. Can we have a birthday party for Alan at your house? Literally, I volunteered their house. And I was like, I'll order pizza. I'll order this. He was like, no, we got it. And did you not know? So mind you, Sabrina said they have a large family. They have a lot of children. They didn't have 10 at that time. I don't remember how many they had, maybe 8. They had a lot of kids. So and then we invited other families with their kids and all these other people. Did you know Jessica made homemade food and probably cake and everything. Like I was gonna order pizza. Okay. I'm like, it's a lot of people. Let me just order pizza and, get some food, some, birthday party food, wings or whatever have you. No, Jessica made a homemade meal for everybody and it was so good. And they opened up their house and we just had a great time. So shout out to the Rhines family for always being hospitable and welcoming to us and the people we invite over because this is not the first time, obviously. So, so that was Friday. That was my birthday, and I'm thinking, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that was nice. That's the birthday. So then we get back to the resort, we go to bed.
Did
Um,
y'all go to bed though, Sharika?
oh, I
Because
was
I
gonna
know
say I
Doug
can't
and
remember
I,
if that's the night we stood. Okay, so then
Doug and I definitely went to bed. I like passed by to go to the bathroom, like brush my teeth
yeah,
or something, get ready for bed. I and Sharika are sitting in the common space, I'm like, look at this cute little couple. And how did they have all this energy? Because I don't know what time y'all went to bed, but y'all did not go directly to bed. Y'all were chopping it up. It was so cute.
well, I guess see, y'all just came from work. We had been off the day before. We had
Oh,
already gotten up
true.
there. So we weren't really as tired. And mind you, you know how Doug and Sabrina said they stopped and got some food on the way to the then okay, by that point I was a little hungry again when I had some leftovers from the night before we went to Uno's. So I like heated up my little pizza. I was out there having second dinner at
I
like
love
10
it.
o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, second dinner. I started getting a little hungry again, so I had some food. Alan's watching TV or on his phone. I don't know what he's doing. So we're up there just, I'm just eating and just, oh, my
Living your
mom
life
had
like it's golden.
yeah, and right before we had left, my mom had sent me a little birthday gift, and so I had left it at the resort. So I came home and that night, opened my little gift for my mom, and
Oh, what you get ya?
this little candle set that talks about like the love of a daughter, and it was so sweet. It was really
Oh, I
cute.
love stuff like that. Mm.
Yeah, and then and I opened your beautiful card. I forgot to tell you this. It was so cute, and I was like, Sabrina and Doug, they're so sweet, and they got me little the I don't want to say conversational cards. I forget how whatever those nice cards that you got me.
I'll say that,
Inspirational.
that was Doug's pick out. I wanted to get a candle and it smelled like birthday cake. And Doug was like, this smells like trash. Get these cards instead.
The
I was
inspirational
like,
cards. I would say.
whatever. It's on brand. It was so cute. It looked like a little birthday cake. But Doug was not feeling the candle, so
Doug
you
said,
know.
"It smells like." But
Doug is
thanks,
wild,
Doug.
just for all the podcasters to know. If y'all meet him and he seems like this kind of quiet, coy person, it is not the full story. Just know that. There's a comma and a but, okay?
I love.
Anyway.
See, those are my favorite type of people.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, that's why my husband is like my husband because he's. I think I love people that there are layers to. That like the more you
Mm-hmm.
know them, there's more to them. Those are my favorite type of people.
Well,
And
there you go, Alan and Doug.
my husband is one of those people. You know, there's an outer layer that those some people get to know, and then there's the layers get peeled back, and the closer and closer, there's more and more to him. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So then, y'all, Saturday comes, I wake up, I'm laying in the bed, because that's what I love to do. Let me tell you what I love to do is lay around in the bed, waking up, even if I wake up early, just if I don't have no pressures on my time and I can just relax in the bed. So I'm just laying in the bed. I'm on my phone, probably, looking at the little nice birthday messages people are giving me. And then my husband's laying on the phone too. And then I'm all snuggled up. And then he's like, okay, you need to get ready because he's like, you need to get ready because you and Sabrina have a massage. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you and Sabrina have a massage. I said, what are you talking? He's like, I said, you need to get ready. So he repeats it like three times because I'm like, wait, what? Am I hearing this right? Because like, I was like, what? So then I was like, oh my gosh. And then like shortly after that, Sabrina snaps me. She's like, hey, I need to run an errand. So we gotta leave at like 10:45. Do you mind coming with me? I'm like, sure, I don't mind. So then I'm like, okay. And then I get up and we start getting ready.
Y'all, first of all, I'm going to
Let
post
you
a
jump
video
in.
on our Facebook and on our Twitter where Cherika faked her surprise so good for me and thought I was doing something so great for Alan because I knew it wasn't my like gift to tell about. Because Alan had texted me earlier in the week and said he wanted to set up this moment for Cherika, and I thought it was so thoughtful and kind, and I'm totally down for it. So when we get there, I go on Snapchat and I'm like, "Hi, my name's Sabrina. This is my friend whose husband set up massages for her birthday." And I pan and Cherika's smiling. And to her credit, she never lied and said she didn't know. I was just like, "Are you surprised?" She's just like, hee hee hee. So I'm like, later I'm like, "Girl, did you know?" And she's like, "Yeah, but I wasn't going to take the moment from you." So I'm going to post that video because that was really, really thoughtful of you to
Yes, post
try
the
to let me
video,
have that
friend.
moment.
Because in the like I literally was not faking the joy and the giddiness and the excitement. I literally was that
Mm.
joyful and giddy and excited because you guys know, well, maybe you don't. I love my husband, but I just wasn't surprised. I was very surprised. I was surprised by the surprise because I didn't think my husband would be doing the surprises. So I was like, oh, it's really hot. And I was just like, I really like surprises. I just
And
didn't
it
know
was
how much
such
I
a
love the surprising.
nice place too. Like we got to be in like the couple's massage room. They put a curtain in between us, but when they started the service, they split it apart. Y'all, I'm not kidding. One of the best massages of my whole entire life.
It was
So
very
good. Such a vibe. And afterwards, they gave us like a little complimentary sip and like the music and the lighting. It was just so nice. So thank you again,
smelled so
Cherika,
good
for
in
being
there.
warm. So get that massage as well. I got the blessing through you.
It was really nice, and that moment was so nice. It was nice to do it with a friend because in no, I love my husband, but I don't think he would have been into the massage. And it's like, okay, somebody's into the moment. It's giddy, it's fun. We had great conversation, and then I also just had a moment of gratitude being on the table and massaging, getting the massage. I was just like so grateful, and it was just like a prayer, meditative gratitude moment. And that was a great way to like, I felt good about like having that moment not memory or remembrance, but in honor or like in the presence of like, in the mindset of like my life and my, as I'm celebrating my birthday, just being so grateful to God, grateful for my family, grateful for the friendships and all that. So I was just having a moment on the table in the midst of the massage. It
Amen.
was truly, truly nice. So
I love
then,
those moments in life where you can just
mm-hmm,
become overwhelmed with gratitude. And we talked about that a little bit when we got up from the table. I was like, honestly, during the massage, I was just like having a little quiet time with the Lord. Like, thank you,
mm-hmm,
God, for this life, for this blessing. Like, I don't take it for granted that most of my problems are first world
mm,
problems and that, we
mm-hmm.
really live a blessed life.
Yep.
It's great.
Very, very true. I was feeling the same thing at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my
Massage
other
all those
favorite,
complaints right out of me.
you're right. You're right about that. And I was just in a great mood. And one of my other favorite things, is breakfast food. I love a breakfast food. So we went out to brunch. Dad found this. The food was real. I thought the food was really good. Sabrina and Doug were raving about the biscuit. So
Oh,
we
you
went
got a
there.
biscuit?
No, I said you guys were raving about the biscuit.
Oh, girl, I should have only gotten the biscuit. That and butter alone would have been phenomenal.
I forgot I had a waffle. I had a waffle, and I had a blueberry waffle. That's with strawberries on top. And it was very good. My husband had chicken and waffles, and that looked like a lot of chicken and waffles. So if you have a Metro Diner, because it is a chain, I didn't know, I had never heard of it, but then I was looking it up, and they have one in Tampa and St. Pete. So you know what, I might gotta run the Metro Diner back at some point, but it was good. Food was good. And then Sabrina was like, "Oh, we have to go back." I'm like, "Okay." So, because me and Alan were like, "Oh," Alan's like, "Oh, I need to get some water from the store." I'm like, "Yeah, I need to get the card." And Sabrina's like, "Well, I need to run back to the resort. I'm like, okay. So then we go back to the resort and I'm thinking, oh, she needs to run in, needs to get something, needs to do something. And then so the guys get out and she's like, all right, Shrika, let's go. I'm like, go, let's go. Go where? Where we going? So Sabrina, you want to fill them in on your thoughts? Because that and this time I really
Absolutely.
was surprised
So when
and had no clue.
So I told you all, I touched base with her husband and he was like, I'm thinking of doing the massage, but anything we can think of to like help make her have like a special day and pamper her and etc. And I'm thinking, who doesn't like to get their hair done? And here and there, Sharika's asked me where I get my blowouts to get my trims. Side note, you can get a trim without getting a blowout. I just like to get the blowout because for that 1 or 2 weeks after, it's like, yay, I can pretend I have a relaxer again. Because straight hair for me is a lot more manageable than my curls. So I'm like, oh, I can finally, like, this can be like the surprise. I can finally introduce her to the cherry blow dry bar. I go to the one in Brandon and there are like 3 different people there that can do my hair. It's great. And I'm thinking this is what we're going to do. So I call ahead. And I'm like, we need an appointment at 3, but if you can't get us together, we will not come because we have to be gone. We have a surprise party that night. It's my friend's birthday weekend. It needs to be special. And I'm going to warn you, I am Black and I have 4C hair. My friend, she's also African American and she has 3C. Well, not 3C, like her curls are a lot softer, but she has a lot thicker hair. Some of you listening might be like, why do you have to warn them? Why can't you just go in? Because America has taught me from North Carolina to Tennessee to Florida that if I don't warn certain salons, I will go in and get turned away. I know everybody that goes to hair school should be able to do all kinds of hair, but that is just not the case. I have gone to like a supercut to get a quick trim and they're like, we don't do your hair here. Like straight up, like you're Black. We're not touching the 4C curls. We're very uncomfortable with that. That's why I said that. And then I called back the morning of that Saturday because I made that appointment during the week, but I called back just to make sure because I get really anxious when I go to a new place, even by myself, but I'm bringing my friend. So I called back just to make sure. And they were like, oh no, there's a flag on your name of the account saying that you have texturized hair. So I was like, okay, so y'all know. And I specifically said, I'm Black. And she was like, ha ha, made it seem like it was all good. So we leave the resort and then we're maybe like, I don't know, a minute away at a light about to turn onto the toll road when my car says key not in the vehicle. And I'm like, what do you mean the key's not in the vehicle? Mind you guys, brunch took longer than I expected. So I did not want to be late because like I said, we had other stuff to do that evening. We didn't want to be late for this surprise party. So I'm like, crap. Now if I have to turn around. So I called Doug. I'm like, babe, I don't have the key in the vehicle. I'm coming back. Can you bring out one of the keys? And he's like, okay. So he's like running out to meet us. He gives me the key and then we can drive off again. Evidently, with this kind of car system, you can drive away with no key. But once you turn it off, it just won't turn back on. So I'm like, oh, that would have been so bad because this place is like 30 minutes or 33-ish minutes with little traffic. So we get there. We're actually on time. And Cherika is surprised. She saw the nail shop beside it. And she's like, nails thinking. But I'm like, no, we're going to get that blowout. And y'all, the place in Brandon, Florida blows out my hair so well. And they can do it with curls. They can do it straight. So I'm like, oh my, like even when they're done with the blow dryer part, it looks perfect. Sometimes I have them not even run the straightener through it because I'm like, I'm just getting braids tomorrow. I don't need the straightener. So I'm thinking this is the same chain, they're going to hook us up. When I walked in, I could already feel the discernment in my spirit was like, something's going to be amiss. Because when I walked in, the receptionist looked up at me like, how can I help you? And I'm like, I already called y'all and let you know 2 Black people are coming up in here. Don't do that. So I was like, Sabrina, like, I called, I made an appointment and they're like, okay, I see the only person of color working there kind of walk out. Now I need to let you guys know of the 3 people in Brandon who do my hair, only one is a person of color and that's Christian, the guy. The other 2 are white women. So I know certain white women can do my hair just fine. But I could just tell, because I've been there, I could tell from their body language that it's giving mad discomfort. And the one person of color who walked out, I was like, okay, clearly she's the one who's supposed to do my hair, which, by the way, y'all, on the phone, they told me her name was Yesenia. It was Jessica. So I'm like, I don't know where Yesenia came from. Maybe she was another employee that was supposed to work that day and left. So that person walks out, and then there's this man who is looking kind of dodgy eyes, and this white woman with blonde hair. I'm not saying that to call out the white woman. I'm just describing what the situation was. Super blonde hair went over to start whispering to him. And already I'm like, this isn't cool. The person of color walks back in, Jessica. And I'm like, oh, clearly you're going to be the one to do my hair. And she's like, yeah. So she sits me down. She puts the towel on me, but I still see the people whispering. So I'm like, pause. I look over at Cherika, and I'll let Cherika tell her part, and then I'll jump back in.
So I see the people, I too see the people whispering. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but all right. I still got the excitement vibes because, I'm excited. This is a nice little surprise. So then they come over to me, and the guy's like, no, yeah, no. Like, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not trying to be offensive. The guy had an accent. I don't even know what accent. I'll just say, I'm not good with the accents.
It was clear English wasn't his first language.
Yes. Yeah, English was not. He was just like, no, I can't do it. And then she was like, the lady with the blonde hair that Sabrina was telling you about, she's just like, kind of like asking like, what do you mean? Like, what's the issue? And he's just like, I don't feel comfortable with this type of texture. I've never done this before. I'm not comfortable doing this. Basically this man's like, I want to do this. I ain't ready for it. And he was saying to me, he was just like, well, he's like, I don't want to do a bad job, and so I don't feel comfortable. And I was just like, okay, I was feeling very uncomfortable, and I was just like, but I'm also a peacemaker, y'all. And I'm just like, okay, it's fine, whatever. But also I literally, in my head, I'm thinking, say less, sir. I don't, if you don't feel comfortable, neither do I. Them long fingernails, I don't feel comfortable either. So if you don't feel comfortable doing my hair, we don't have to do this.
Not him had long fingernails. I didn't even notice that.
Oh yes, girl. They were not, it was gross. But anyway, but he's giving, and then I'm just like, listen, but I'm like really nice. I'm like, it's okay. I totally understand, because I do also understand if somebody is not confident doing my hair, they don't need to do my hair. I don't want to take the chances. And also, if you don't want to touch my hair, I don't need you to touch my hair. Like, I'm not desperate. I'm not in need. Listen, it's fine. But I was just like, it's okay. I'm fine. It's fine. And the lady was like, well, can you at least wash her hair? And he was just like, let me see. And he's just like, no, I can't. I'm like, okay, listen. And
I'm literally couldn't put water through it.
Like, he can't. Yeah. So the lady is just looking at him like dumbfounded, like, what? And then this other lady was just like, so then Jessica, who was doing Sabrina's hair, well, I'll let
who hadn't started. Okay.
Before Jessica say anything, Sabrina interject, like, what's going on?
So we're side by side, because it's supposed to be like the couple's massage. I should stop the friend massage vibes. Like, we're side by side. We're kikiing all day. I see that they're whispering, but no braids are being taken out of Cherika's hair, because, she had the 2 cornrows. All you have to do is unwind them, take her to thing. And I touched the little towel that Jessica had on me, and I was like, what's going on? And I'm removing the towel, because I'm like, this is not even that big of a day. At the end of the day, I have hair. Cherika has hair. We can make it work. I can wear my hair. I can wear a wig. It's nothing but a thing. We can go somewhere else. Like, say less. But I called ahead. So you're not going to be in here trying to play us with this situation when you had the opportunity on the phone to say, we don't have stylists here who are comfortable with black hair. It's that simple. So they're discussing how they're not doing it. And Cherika was a pillar of society. She was calm, cool, and collected. She was just like, honestly, it's fine. No, don't touch. I know, she told me after the fact, which I agree with her. If you're not comfortable, definitely don't touch my hair, because what I don't want to do is walk out of here with messed up hair. Like, I have healthy hair. Don't touch it if you don't know what you're doing. And I was just like, hey, if y'all aren't going to do her hair, we can leave, because I called ahead and we need to be out by a certain time. Like, that's just it. And then the stylist who's doing my hair is like, well, no, I can do her hair. I don't have anybody to do after her as long as he can like wash it. Y'all, why was he saying it's one thing if you don't feel comfortable taking the curl brush and curling it through and running a blow dryer? Because that does take a certain technique and a certain talent with any hair. But you're saying you can't even put her head under the water and put soap on it? But honestly, he wasn't the only one because Jessica volunteered to do both of our hair. Actually, another employee, not the man, said that she was going to wash Cherika's hair and dry it so that at least it would help with our timing. And I said, only if y'all do that will it be okay, because we have this party to get to and we can't be late. It's a surprise. And they're like, no, another person will wash her hair. We'll make it work. And as Jessica was doing my hair, I said several times, like, hey, if you want to stop mine and just do Cherika's, because at this point, I knew I was going to be wearing the wig. I was like, I am not, because here's the thing, as kind as Jessica was, Jessica did not know what the blank she was doing with my hair. When she sat me under that wash and put those 2 droplets of water on this 4C fro and like that dime size amount of product, and barely scrubbed. I don't think my scalp knew what her hands were. Like, she fluffed my head like it was a pillow and put water on it. So I was like, from the wash, I can usually tell if someone can do my hair or not. And from the wash, I knew it was a wrap. So as she's doing it, as she's blowing it dry, I can already tell, like, it's looking like I did it at home. It's not giving the Brandon cherry blow dry experience, like I told you. And Brandon, when they blow dry my hair, it looks like I can walk out and it looks like I got a silk press. I was over here looking fried and dried, y'all. Terrible. And I was thinking, okay, maybe they have like a magic straightener, and once she's done this and straightened it, it'll look so much better. It didn't. So I was like, as she's blowing it dry, I had already given up. And I was like, but it's friend's birthday. Maybe with the different texture hair, she'll be better. So I was like, you can stop my hair and do Cherika's. First of all, the lady who volunteered to wash Cherika's hair did not touch it. She was sitting there playing with her nails and doing whatever else. And then another client came in later and she did that lady's hair, but like, there was just lies all over the place. But before my lady even did Cherika's hair, the manager's like, well, can I get you guys something to drink? Can I get you a treat? So the manager leaves. She comes back with a birthday cake and like, whatever. I see what she was trying to do. And she apologized. She's like, in 2023, really as a Black person, you shouldn't have to call and say I'm Black. And I wanted to be like, shut the F up, because clearly I did have to do that. And even then it was still not respected or honored, because I came in and you guys couldn't do the hair. So I don't care. The only reason I'm not turning up at this point is because I'm like, these people, my hair's already been wet. So I don't want anybody who's touching my hair to be like attitude mode. They got too much power. And I'm thinking, Cherika's being really calm. I'm in a different city. There's no point. I still have to go to a party after this. I'm really not going to turn all the way up, but y'all are going to get it in this review. But Cherika, I still haven't written the review. I think I'm going to tag the time of this podcast where we're talking about it and tag them on Facebook and be like, check this out. Cherry Blow Dry Orlando, 1 star. And that was for the cake you got us, nothing else. So I was very upset because they were dishonest about the services they could provide, and they were dishonest again about our timing, because I told them specifically, they even called me when we were at brunch and they're like, hey, can you come in at 2:30 because we have like just an open time? And I was like, no, I already told y'all in 3, like it needs to be 3. Like, I didn't change it. And they said, and I said, I don't know if you remember when I walked up during brunch, friend, when I got the phone call, I told them then, if you can't do 3, that's fine, but let me know. And they were like, no, it's fine. It would have been better if you could do 2:30, but if you can't, that's fine. Why are y'all lying? Like, ugh. So
and the manager, I will say that man was very wild though. Like, I will say that part was like, the part that was the wildest part was that man. Like, I have never, that man was so, like, I'm laughing, but I was just like, in the moment, like, girl, like, I've never had that experience. Like,
have you ever been to a white hair salon? Well, I shouldn't call it a white hair salon. Yeah. And you never had that? Gosh, I've had that experience so many times.
Well, I've never had, like, not somebody, like, I really felt like like they like not, he wasn't like this, but it literally almost was like ew. Like he was looking
Mm-hmm.
at my hair like ew.
No, he was like that. Absolutely. That is a vibe. They
He
literally are like, ill, can't like my head is doo doo or something.
yes,
It's just curls. What the heck is wrong with you?
he
Literally,
literally
Cherika, I saw him do pinch fingers on the top of one of your braids. It was
because
like he had
he
his
was like,
two
well,
little
can you
pinchers,
take
like,
your hair? He was like, well, maybe if you take, and then he like touched my hair and was like, oh yeah, no, I can't do this. And I was just like, okay, well, never felt like my hair was trash before or disgusting or nasty, but here's the vibe. Okay, this man don't need to do my hair, and I will stay calm and I will stay very nice and polite and be like, yeah, it's okay because it was okay because I rather him not. So, but yeah, I'm just,
mm. Ooh, I'm getting
it
so
was just
pissed all over again.
so yeah, Sabrina like gets her whole. This lady washes her hair. Does it? So then the other girl does not wash my hair. Then Jessica ends up having to wash my hair. And like Sabrina said, like usually when you're in there, they're like, cleaning your scalp and all that. Like Sabrina said, girl, you well, not y'all aren't girls, but girls and guys, whoever's listening, there was no touching of the scalp. She was doing the lightest rubbing I've ever felt. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Then she does that, dries my hair, blows it out, straightens it, all the things. And yeah, so and I as she's doing my hair, I'm looking at Sabrina's hair and I'm like, what what did she do to Sabrina's hair? I was just like, I would, if I was a stylist, I'm not a stylist, but if I was a stylist, I would have told Sabrina, girl, get back in my chair. We're going to have to figure out something because I cannot let you walk out of here looking like that and saying this is a finished product. Like that would have been embarrassing to me. And I was just waiting for that lady to call her to sit back down because I was just looking at Sabrina's hair like, what in the world? Did
I
she
should post a picture on the kickback, but I'm embarrassed,
You
but I
should.
really should.
You should. Because
Ah,
it was, I
terrible,
don't even know what to compare it to, but it
terrible,
was just a mess.
terrible. A mess.
And I was just
Exactly.
like, okay. And then, but when she did my hair, it was pretty good. And so I was just like, all right, well, and then mind you, so by the time we're done, or we're getting done, it's late. I can see Sabrina is very like anxious and I'm just like, she's ready to go because we're gonna be late to the party. Like she said, it's a surprise and so it's a lot of emotion. Sabrina's going through all the
A
emotions.
lot. And I am, once again, I am basing it off of the phone calls, not
Mm-hmm.
call, the phone
Mm-hmm.
calls, 3 phone calls, two that I initiated, one initiated by them. I'm going off of the fact that I go to Cherry Blow Dry Bar by me at least once every 3 months for a nice little trim. And it's
Mm-hmm.
never, ever, never been a bad experience. So I'm like, not only did y'all have us go through the frustrating embarrassment of somebody once again acting like black hair is the most terrible thing in the world. And now you did the opposite and you have us running late because that little situation that happened when we first walked in, that took about 10 minutes. So she didn't start my hair until probably like 3:12. She probably started Cherika's around 4:30
Mm-hmm.
and we were leaving there maybe past 6 or something. So the organizer of the surprise party had wanted us there between 6:30 and 7. After how long it took, we were now like 38 minutes from our resort to the point where I was like, maybe we can call the guys and ask them to bring our stuff here and leave from here because the party was 25 minutes from the hair place. But no, we really needed to go back. We didn't get to we were doing hair, makeup, all of that in the car. So you think you're going to this event where you can just really doll yourself up. And now it's like rush and they don't care about that. Not to mention, it could be anywhere from 35, 55 when you get a blowout, depending on the texture of your hair. Da, da, da. I knew that ahead of time. They're like, oh, well, if it takes longer, we'll have to charge you extra because depending on some people's hair, it takes longer. But I know from going to Cherry Blow Dry and just being my whole life, it takes an hour to blow dry my head. In a
Mm-hmm.
salon like that, Now, I already know my people, my culture salon, they'll have you there 6 hours sitting you under the dryer while they do 3 other heads. But that isn't Cherry Blanchard's vibe. But I feel like before we even had butts in chair, they already charged us for the extra time, because you're telling me you lied. You had an employee refuse to do our hair. Then you started the other person's hair an hour and a half late. And then now you want to charge this extra fee. And it's not about the money. It was about the principle. But I wasn't going to get into it with the little receptionist, because I know no matter how badly people treat people of color, and especially Black women in public, the moment we turn up, it's the narrative, angry Black woman. Even when we have every right to be angry. So I was like, what I'm not going to do is this. But what I will do is sit this review. We have a fun night. It's been a very fun weekend. I'm not even going to carry this energy, because the girl was like, well, I can call the manager. I'm like, I'm not giving y'all a second more of my time. My hair looks like trash. This has not been a pleasant experience. I don't care how much cake and orange juice and spritz, whatever you give me. All I want to do is get out of here and fix my hair and laugh with my friend. That's what I will say about Cherika. She is the perfect person to go through an experience like that with, because if there had been 2 Sabrinas, we might be in jail right now, because we would have been turning up and hyping each other up like, no, they need to be held accountable, that, and getting all angry. But Cherika's energy, which I don't know, it very much reminds me of my husband's energy. Maybe it's the Enneagram 9 thing. You know, she's chill. Yes, we were wronged, but life is not over. That morning, we had the best massages ever. And I was thanking God for the many blessings. So I'm not going to cuss out the people in the hair salon. I'm just going to be like, you know what? Sure. Pay and leave. And that's what I did.
That's so funny that you say that, because Alan talks about like his good friends, like they're more like their person, like it's funny who you attract in, whether it's just friendship or relationships. Like Alan's like, I'm not the talkative. He's like, I am surrounded by emotional people. My friends are all emotional. My wife is emotional. I am not an emotional person, but that is who he attracts. And I think you attract sometimes, people,
What you
even friends.
need. Yeah, I love it. So
yeah, and I'm also, I think too, it's a balance too, because I will, like, if it's me and Alan, I would be more quicker to turn up than him. I won't always be, but I was in a blissed out mood that day. I was just
that's
really
right.
in a good mood. So, but yeah, so it was, and I felt bad for Sabrina, because I know you would just wanted it to be so nice for me, and then you were stressing out, and I was just like, so I'm going to keep it calm to make it okay. And it was okay. And we got ready. Like Sabrina said, she's putting on her makeup in the car. Y'all, I have a dress, and I'm sewing my dress in the car on the way to the party. Literally, I finished sewing the dress as we're pulling up to the party. It was an adventure. It literally was an adventure.
It really was. And in true fashion of our people, the party didn't even start anywhere on time, and we got there plenty of time for the surprise.
We sure did. So we were in there before the surprise.
Wouldn't have been relevant, but this is a great time to like button up the party, because we started with a party with Cherika, and this party a wife put on for her husband, and it was a surprise for his 30th party, and the theme was semi-formal, all Black. And when I tell you, everyone looked so freaking nice. Like, one of my friends snapped me and was like, how was the wedding? And I was like, I haven't gone to a wedding this weekend. And they're like, the wedding, the all Black. And I was like, oh no, that was a birthday party. So like, my friends are very extra, and I love that, because I love an excuse to like dress up, right? And we had, well, I should let Cherika speak first. So I had an amazing time. I love when couples celebrate each other privately and publicly, especially because I think sometimes marriage gets a bad rap. And yes, marriage is hard. If you haven't read the book by Kevin and Melissa, please do, because it is hard. But any relationship where you're in close proximity with somebody else, it is hard. Think about our relationship with Christ. Like, it takes work. That's why he didn't say carry your cross when you accept me and never again. He said carry your cross daily. It is hard, but it's also beautiful, and it's all these other things. So to see Marjorie up there celebrate her husband, and then her husband get up there and like, thank you for the support. And this is what I felt like, honestly, it was like a little mini sermon. unintentional,
Mm.
because he was like, I saw this place where I was in my life in my 20s and I wanted to reach these goals. And this is how I did it. And I was like, listen, I received this. I'm listening. And then we turned up. The food was amazing. Just seeing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I had the best of times. Cherika, how are you feeling after the hair debacle? But then we got to the surprise party.
I felt the same way. It was really moving. Um, it literally was like a little testimony time, and it really wasn't. They were just sharing their love for each other and the family support and all the things. Just, when it's your birthday, you reflect on life, and it was really good. The food was good. The seeing other friends was good. Just connecting with them was really great, and it was just so much fun. And we talked about this. It was all black theme, and we love a theme over here. So we had our little black outfits on. Our mans looked nice in their black outfits. Everyone looked great. It was just so much fun, and it was just so positive and just a really great time. And so the pictures that I posted on our socials in the little video, that little reel I made, yes, y'all, I'm into the reels now. So I love making a reel, was from our time at the celebration, and it was really, really good. And it's always nice to get to when we as the kickback are together in person, especially for social engagements and events. It's always so much fun.
Absolutely. And it was great. Had a good time. Fortunately, actually, I'll say unfortunately, I had to leave really early the next morning. So I didn't get to have like a final little brunch with Cherika before we left Orlando, but we have our whole lifetimes to brunch. So I flew out to DC to support a friend, and we can talk about that later. I will just say thank you again for the gift of your birthday weekend. Despite everything, I had an incredible time, and I know I will never forget it. Cherika, do you have any final birthday weekend thoughts before
I do. I just
we
want to
move
say,
on?
I do. I just want to say thank you to you and Doug for coming out and celebrating with me. Thank you to our friends, the Rhines family, Dunamis and Josiah. Thank you for Marjorie and it was literally, I would say, probably my best adult birthday I've ever had. And
Love
that
it.
also, the biggest shout out goes out to my husband, Alan. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much. You really made me feel special. And thank you to the Lord and my mom and dad, because without them, I wouldn't be here. Thank you for all the family and friends who texted, called. People called me, people texted me, people sent me Facebook messages. It was literally a wonderful time. And I couldn't have been more blessed, grateful, and happy.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of friends, our scripture this week is about friends in the the New Testament. Acts chapter 15, the Message, verses 37 through 41. Now, Acts is when the action was happening. The church was on fire and spreading all over, and the disciples were really doing their thing. Barnabas, Paul, Mark, all of them. But just because they were doing their thing, I know in the first couple of chapters of Acts, they're like, they shared everything. They got along. I just talked to you guys about relationships that are true and real and vulnerable. They're just hard anyway. They're beautiful too, but they can be hard. So this is the setting. They're doing their ministry, and they're about to go to one place, and they're trying to decide who's going to go with whom. Barnabas wanted to take John along, the John nicknamed Mark. But Paul wouldn't have him. He wasn't about to take along a quitter who, as soon as the going got tough, had jumped ship on them in Pamphylia. Tempers flared, and they ended up going their separate ways. Barnabas took Mark and sailed for Cyprus. Paul chose Silas and, offered up by their friends to the grace of the masters, went to Syria and Cilicia to put grit in those congregations. I just thought that was hilarious. Like, the Bible's keeping it real once again. Barnabas is like, hey, let's take John along. And Paul was like, no, do you not remember what John nicknamed Mark did to us last time? How he just was like, you know what? no, I can't handle this. I'm jumping ship. And Paul was like, I'm not trying to do that again. But Barnabas had like the heart of God and was being compassionate and trying to give John Mark another chance. So Paul said, you know what we're going to do? You can take him with you and that can be your problem. But I'm riding out with Silas. And you know what? The gospel got served. So you don't always have to agree with your friends. Hilarious. Cherika, I know they went their separate ways. I just thought it was funny how the Bible called out John, nicknamed Mark, for jumping ship the one time when the going got tough. It was like, he was like, I'm out. But you know what? He also came back, obviously. Mm-hmm. So he was ready for a second go. Do you have anything to express today, friend?
I just have a short express. Just as I said, with that moment of gratitude, you know, birthday times, New Year's, whatever. But there, whenever it is, you find yourself in having a moment to yourself, a quiet time. Take that moment to reflect on your life, on where your life has been, what you've been through, and also where you want to go. And, you know, take those moments to give God glory and thanks. Because while we may not always be where we want to be, or things may not have always gone the ways that we expected, or we might have had some really hard times, if you're still here, that is by the grace of God. And if you're still alive and breathing, that is by the grace of God. And we do have so many things to be thankful for. There, we can always count the things that are frustrating, annoying, upsetting, but you know, that song says, count your many blessings, name them one by one, and you will be surprised at what the Lord has done. And the Lord has done so many great things. So when you have those things that may have you feeling like you're underwater, take a moment and stop and count your many blessings. And that's what I have to express today.
That's beautiful expresses, friend. Thank you for expressing that. I also want to take a moment for us to just keep our co-host EB in our prayers. You know, him and Judith, they're about to be parents. Isn't it next month the baby's due? So just keep them in your prayers. As you can imagine, it's like, I know we have like graduations from stuff and when you move out of your parents' house or when you get your first job, those are monumental, but nothing in my mind. Not even a marriage is pretty monumental. But nothing I think changes you more than becoming a parent. Even if you're a deadbeat parent, like you carried that with you. So they're in for a huge life change, and yes, keep their family in your prayers. God be with them and their strength and all of the things. Yes. I cannot wait to see them as parents. I know that baby's going to be so blessed, and I can't wait to just cuddle it, see it, hold it.
It's so exciting. They are literally at the tail end of it, and it is so wild and crazy. I love, like, when you see your friends transition, like whether that's going from singles or like dating to married, that's a transition in your friends. You see that transition for your friends. And then when your friends go from being, you know, not having kids to being parents, it's a huge transition. And so it is exciting to see them in this new role coming in and walk alongside them in that.
Absolutely. Well, friend, it's time for us to do some recommend. I know Cherika and I started watching the next season of Sweet Magnolias. We should get into that maybe tomorrow.
Yep. I'm free, girl. I ain't got another thing going on.
Listen, you take that COVID test and you can come right over. I'm kidding.
No, friend, that's real. Keep it real, friend.
Listen, I'm
not
you're
mad
fine.
at it at all.
No, I had the antibodies, so I'm good. I just had it, so I can't catch
that is true.
I don't know if that's ignorant of me to say. I've heard it's true.
But they do say, that's why they tell you, like, there's no point in taking the booster or the COVID test. I mean, the vaccination after you've had it for within a couple of months, because you have the antimoodies.
There we go. You heard it from Cherika. I'm
not no doctor now.
I'm recommending a book since we talked about friends a lot today. This book is called The Book of Lost Friends by Lisa Wingate, and it's on Audible. For those of you who don't want to hold a book and flip through, you can listen to this book, The Book of Lost Friends. My mother-in-law actually suggested it to me, and she said it caught her from the very beginning. She's not very far in, but she's really enjoying it. So the book of Lost Friends on Audible. Check it out. Cherika, what do you recommend?
That's a great question. What am I recommending? Literally, I had a movie last week. I was on vacation and I was watching, at home on vacation, watching some movies and stuff. And there was a really good movie that I saw, and I was talking to my mother-in-law about it. And I was like, yes, when I get on the podcast, I'm going to recommend this movie. Y'all, I cannot remember the ding dang movie's name. I'm blaming it on the cold brain. So I'm not going to say COVID brain because I'm not claiming that over my life, but I will take that test. But I'm not claiming the COVID brain. But I cannot remember the name of that movie that I wanted to share with y'all. But maybe I'll have it for the next time we get together. I recommend y'all take care of yourselves. Listen. And be well mentally, physically, emotionally, all the things, whatever it does, whatever you need to do to care for yourself, please do that. And that's real. I mean, I was joking, but also very serious too. There's a lot of things going on in this world, and whether that gets you down mentally or whatever, please care for yourself because no one else is going to do it and no one else can do it but you. So care for yourself, get your rest, get your water in, get your exercise, get good friends, get positive people to surround yourself with, to just, do whatever you can to care for yourself. You are important and you are worth it. That is my recommend for you guys today.
Mm-hmm. Well, friends, it's been great. I love really talking about the birthday weekend. And I think that's something else I might do tomorrow. If Cherika comes over while she's here and we're watching Sweet Magnolias, I will also make that, what is it called? Review for that horrible salon. Orlando.
Yes, indeed. Y'all, it's always a good time to be with you all. Thank you for the listen. We appreciate y'all be listening. Y'all be commenting to us. Y'all be telling us, yeah, we heard the podcast. Thank y'all so much. Share it with a friend. We appreciate it. We love you, EB. And guys, remember, if life tries to knock you down, make sure you kick back.